up guys, to my 45 here, and as you guys probably know or not know, rooting in the world of Android is a very complex thing. It's very techy and it requires a lot of knowledge before you actually do it. So just to keep you guys informed and in case you guys are interested, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 things you need to know before rooting your Android device. So let's get started. So number one is you risk breaking your Android device, which means in case something bad happens or you do something wrong, you risk making your whole Android device useless, which means if you do not do this right and if you don't have enough technical knowledge about what you're about to do, then you might end up without a phone and you might be wandering all over the place wondering what to do because you don't know what you just did. So before you do that, before you root, you need to make sure that you know what you're doing, and you need to make sure that you follow whatever procedures the internet gives you correctly, because if you mess one thing up, your whole device will be rendered useless and you might end up taking it to a repair shop or bringing it to a friend who knows stuff about tech, so on. So just keep that in mind after you root or before you root, and you need to have a good idea of what you're about to do and what you're getting yourself into. You will void your warranty doing this. Now, if you're like me and you don't have a warranty, just like me, all of my devices are old now. They've been here for almost 2-3 years now, except this. I've only had this for maybe about a year or two, and my tablet here for about 3. If you don't have any warranty on it, it's cool. You shouldn't be worried about rooting because if you won't have any warranty to void. But if you do have a warranty to void and you end up bringing your Android device into a repair shop and they try to fix it for you, they will not let you because your warranty is void because you're rooted. Now it's almost as easy as unrooting your Android device and bringing it back in, but depending on how broken your Android device is software based, you might not even be able to do that. So keep that in mind. If you try to bring your phone in while it's rooted and try to get someone to fix it, they might not offer their service to you because rooting will void your warranty. And even though it is legal now in a lot of countries, that still doesn't mean they will cover you for whatever damages you do to your Android device like those. So keep that in mind. Once you're rooted and you have Super SU installed on your phone, your warranty will be void and you will not be able to bring it in to any shop whatsoever. Number 3, guys, you also are basically opening up your whole phone to a new dimension of whatever. You're opening up your phone to a very low level system, which will raise the risk of more malware or bloatware or even viruses getting into your Android device. Because once you're rooted, you're basically gaining low level permissions into the file system or the root directory of your Android device, meaning now there is no more like blockage or whatever stopping viruses or malware getting into your device before you were rooted, because before you're rooted, these low level permissions are basically blocked and there's almost there's a very small chance that malware or viruses will get into your phone because of that blockage that stands between you being rooted and the file system, you not being rooted and the file system itself. But once you're rooted, those level of permissions will be fully accessible inside your phone, which means if you do something wrong, on your Android device, like installing the wrong tweak or installing a wrong module or installing an app that might mess up your phone, it will be able to dig deep into your system and basically mess up the whole phone, which might require you to reformat your phone and get it back to its normal state, making you lose all your data. So keep that in mind. Once you're rooted, even though you do gain access to the whole system of your Android device, you do raise the risk of viruses and malware getting into it, which again might require you to reformat your home phone, take it back into its original state, and making you almost lose almost everything you have on here. So keep that in mind. You will raise the risk of viruses or malware getting into your Android device if you do this. Number 4. So once you're rooted, you'll also need to have you should be able to learn how to mess with these apps and how to work everything out well, meaning you will need to have a little bit of technical knowledge when you do this, because rooting itself doesn't require a lot of knowledge. Actually, even the average person can do it on his own. It's just the things that you do after rooting, like installing custom recovery, installing custom ROM, or installing apps that let you overclock your Android device, or even make it do certain tasks according to your preference. It can do a lot of things, and it does require you to have a bit of a technical knowledge about what you're about to do. So if you decide to get yourself rooted and start doing a bunch of these things, keep in mind you need to have a good knowledge of what you're about to do, because if you don't know what you're doing and you just end up doing whatever you want without doing your research on what you're about to do and what are the consequences of it, you might again end up with a broken Android device that you might need to reformat again and get it back to its original state, start rooting again, start installing your apps again, so on and so forth. So keep that in mind, guys. Also, you will need to have a bit of technical knowledge before doing this, and you will need to understand the consequences of each and everything you do, because not everything is a bed of roses here. Everything you do has a risk of leaving your device useless and without purpose, unless you formatted it again and do all that stuff that I've told you guys. So that's number 4. Keep in mind that you need a bit of technical knowledge of what you're about to do before you do it, because you might end up breaking your device. And lastly, guys, the last thing you guys will need to know before rooting is number 5, that you know how to do it. Now, there are a bunch of Android devices here in this world, and there are a lot of different ways that you can root your Android device. Each and every model is specific to their own method, meaning the way you root one Android device can be completely different to rooting another Android device. So you need to make sure you know how to root it before you actually root it, because even though there are many international methods like King Root or Frama Root that can help you easily root your Android device, those are not 100% sure that they'll work out of the box, which means they might not work right away even though you're expecting them to. You need to make sure you search on the internet and find a way to root your specific Android device, because if you don't know, then again, you might end up getting confused. You might end up leaving your phone useless, or it might end up being completely broken or whatever. Just like I said, it might end up useless. So you need to know how to root your Android device before you do it, because if you don't know how, then you will basically be lost and you won't know how to get started and what you should do first. There are some methods, like I said, that easily root your Android device for most Android devices, but not for all. Like there are methods like King Root or Frama Root that let you click on one button to basically root the whole Android device. But again, like I said, those are not completely 100% sure that they'll work for your Android device. So you need to make sure you search on the internet on how to do it for your specific model, and you need to know what equipment is needed for you to do it. Like, you might need a computer with a USB cable for you to do it. You might need an internet connection, blah blah blah. Make sure you have enough knowledge about how to root it and what happens when it's rooting, so that you're prepared for whatever happens after you root your Android device. And either way, guys, that is it. Those are my top 5 things that you should know before rooting your specific Android device. Now, as always, guys, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. That definitely helps me out. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys want to see next. And while you're at it, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Those links are in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is the Meister 45 signing off.